Hey everybody, it's Alexander A. Manzoni, and today I will be reading to you the Spokane story. Chapter 1, Pete's Last Day in Lockup, Spokane County Jail, Malin Street, Friday, October 10th, 2014, 5:17 a.m. "Hey, Pete," said Hondo. "Yo, wake up, man. It's your last day." Pete was still groggy from the previous evening's dose of psych meds. He stirred a bit and rolled over on his left side, mumbling lightly, incoherently, from the top bunk in the 8x12 concrete block cell painted with crackled neutral eggshell white. The overhead lights, partially covered with newspaper pages, adhered with a toothpaste that had been on since 5 a.m. since the guard's shift change, despite the excitement one could imagine from the possibilities that lie ahead. Pete was not altogether ready to take life by the horns and be back into society, back in reality, and in essence, back on the street wherein darkness and temptation lie. "Come on, buddy boy," said Hondo. "It's almost time for head camp. I think we got sugar snaps and grits for breakfast today." Moaned Pete. "I ain't in the mood. Fuck those slimy-ass grits." "Oh, what's the matter? The world outside seeming more grim than it did yesterday, ain't it? Don't worry, you'll be fine. It'll just take a little while to get acclimated to the real world. Happens to the best of us. You'll either make it or you won't. No point ruminating and getting yourself all worked up about it. What happens outside is going to happen irregardless." Pete groaned and sat up on the same bunk he'd spent the majority of the past year, occupying against his will. He wiped a thin layer of crust from the corners of his eyes and looked around what had essentially become his home. And what a depressing home it was, wall to wall, covered in penciled graffiti from Pete as well as inmates long past and forgotten. He would not miss the gigantic, crudely drawn vagina plastered across the ceiling. For a year he had wondered, how the fuck did that even get up there? It was signed Pony Montana in staggered, ill-proportioned letters of varying size. Pete swung his legs over the side of the bed and slid down to take a quick leak. Hondo politely turned away whilst Pete finished his morning business. "The first thing I'm gonna do," said Pete as he zipped up the front of his Orange County issue jumpsuit, "the first thing I'm gonna do when I get out of the jail is smoke a goddamn cigarette. Yeah, I'm gonna go to the store, buy a pack, buy a 40, and then go get some weed." "It's nice that girlfriend of yours kept putting money on your books all the time. Shit, my old lady never did that. Nah, she just run off and fucked some other guy till I came back." Yeah. Well, I guess my point is, at least she came back." "Right. A lot of motherfuckers around here, man, when they get out, they got nothing. Not a goddamn thing. But look at you. You got something concrete, something physical to keep you grounded while you go on and make your transition from this shit back into the gin pop of the regular world again. Because this shit that we've been eating ain't the real world. This is a falsehood, a Darwinian fabrication of humanity created by the government to restrain those deemed dangerous and uncontrollable. Only the strong survive, etc. It's a society that chaotically reestablishes itself through alpha male dick waving. It's Lord of the Flies with only loose tobacco and deadly hard narcotics smuggled in through anuses or boofed, if you want to try and get cute about it. Just like you, Hondo, to be philosophizing first thing in the dang morning. I barely caught a word that came running out of that fucking loud mouth of yours. Well, I hope that brain retains some of that knowledge that I've tried as an elder to impart on you. Because if you're just going to go out and do the same thing that landed you in here, what was the point of leaving in the first place? What's the point of leaving? To get the fuck out and raise some hell? Maybe get a job somewhere doing, I don't know, something productive. Maybe construction. Who knows? I haven't been out of jail and off of probation at the same time since before I turned 18. This'll be a whole mess of fun. I bet it will. Meanwhile, I'll keep your bunk warm for you, supposing you'll be back before the end of 2-3 months tops. Oh, fuck you, Hondo. Suck my dick. Goddamn little peckerwood. Who knows? Maybe in time I'll even miss you, you haggard-looking, stank-ass son of a bitch. Nah, on second thought, I won't. Never mind. Pete slipped on his ill-fitting shoes that were placed rather tidily under the bottom bunk and went over to the facsimile of a window, a small blurred panel at the back of the cell, the same cell he watched 4 seasons go by through. All one could ascertain from gazing through this pointless, turned-over rectangular portal was whether it was day or night or not. Yes, sir, Hondo, I'm getting out of this nightmare finally, and tonight I'm gonna really raise some hell. It's long been overdue, said Pete. Fuck this place and fuck the shitstorm. Uncle Sam can suck these nuts, laughed Pete, grabbing at his crotch as would a half-assed mocky mock. So, you're gonna go and see your old man then? Hell no, fuck that guy, the worthless steaming sack of crap. I'm sure you'll run into him sooner or later, and when you do, tell the old man I said hi when you see him, and tell him I'll be out in 90. You'll do that standing on your head. I sure will. Say, Petey, think you can leave that Walkman of yours when they let you out? Yeah, I guess. This thing ain't got no reception as it is. And maybe you can let me get in the Ativan when meds come around? Now you're pushing it, you old fart. Can't blame a man for trying now, can you? No, I guess not. Being released from custody was a process, and that process took all day. Pete spent that time picking paint off the walls and offering goodbyes to a few of the other inmates, though don't get the idea that any of them were his friends. Sure, he knew a lot of them, though they weren't his bros or anything. One thing they were, though, were potential customers. So he made it a point to obtain numbers where fortuitous,